Okay, so next, this is video 3 of section 14.1, 14.5. So we're going to continue with this section. Okay. Last part, it's factoring perfect squares trinomials. Factoring perfect square trinomials. Okay, so technically you will need to know how to factor a square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay, this is trinomial because, like you see, you have three expression trinomial. Perfect square trinomials because you actually can factor this as a plus b to a second power, which means a plus b times a plus b. Okay, we need to know this formula. Okay, and there's one more. We need to know how to factor trinomial, which is a square. The only difference that it's going to have minus 2ab plus b square. So this is also perfect square trinomial, and to factor this one, this is the same as a minus b to a second power. Okay, so we're going to deal with this today. Okay, so let's work with the example. Factor four x squared plus 36x plus 81. Okay, so first what you want to do here, first check if we have perfect square trinomial. So we can use the formula. Can use formula 1. Okay, so I'll put 1 next to here. Okay, so how are we going to check that? Okay, so like you see, 4x squared here, 4x squared should be a square from the formula, right? So we have to calculate So we need to calculate a, because don't forget that technically we thinking that we have left side of the perfect trinomial, and we want to put that as a plus b to a second power. So we need to figure out what is a and what is b. Okay, so how are we going to get a? We're going to get a doing the same thing. We're going to undo what we have. We're going to undo that second power. So a will be the square root of 4x squared, which is just 2x. So that's our a. Okay, next what we're going to do, calculate b. Next, calculate b. Okay, so how are you going to calculate b? Take the last expression, take the last expression which in our case it's 81, and do the same thing and take a square root. Of 81 to calculate b. Okay, so let's do it. It's my b. Let's put it nicely. B. Okay. So b, it's equal square root of 81, which is 9. So technically we're checking if we have perfect squares. Okay, so that will be b. Okay, before you will put a plus b to a second power, always check. Note, always check if the middle expression is equal to 2 times a times b. Okay, why we're going to check that? Okay, we're working with perfect square trinomial, the first formula. So it should be a square, the last expression should be b square, and the middle expression, it's the double product of a and b together. So we need to check if that 2 times a times b, in our case, if 2 times a times b will give us 36x. So we need to check that. So middle expression. Which in our case it's 36x. That should be equal, I'm checking if this is equal to 2 times a times b. Again, a, it's equal to x in this example. So I'm checking if this is equal to 2 times 2x, and b in our example is 9 times 9. So we're getting 2 times 2, 4 times 9, 36x. Yes. So when you check that condition, you know that you have perfect trinomial, so we can rewrite, yes, we have perfect trinomial. So rewrite 4x squared plus 36x plus 81 as a plus b to a second power. And again, why I'm using the first formula, because you have plus right here. The second expression is positive. So in our case, that will be a. Again, a was 2x and b was 9 plus 9 to a second power. Okay, we're not going to do it, but note, you can always check your work. So that's what is safe. If you're not sure, check your work. And FOIL 2x plus 9 square, which is the same as 2x plus 9 times 2x plus 9, and that will give you the original expression, which is 4x squared plus 36x plus 81. Okay, so again, you guys used to do this, used to FOIL expression like that to get the answer. Now we're doing the opposite. I'm giving you answer and you need to FOIL. So we have some shortcuts. We have nice formula. First you need to figure out if you have perfect trinomial, which means the first expression should be perfect square. The the last expression should be perfect square. And the middle expression should be 2 times a times b. You have to check that before you put as a formula a plus b to a second power. Okay, let's do more. Let's do the example when you have perfect square trinomial, but with negative. So next example. Factor perfect square trinomial. Okay, and we're going to factor a x squared minus 6x plus 9. Okay, so here we are thinking about a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, this formula, when you have a minus, because your mirror expression, it's negative, which can be factored as a minus b squared. Okay, so I'm going to do the same work. I'm going to figure out what is a and what is b. So find a. To find a, we're going to take the square root of the first expression, which is x. That's a. Find b. To find b, take the square root of the last expression, which is 3. Okay, so this is b, this is a. So it looks like I will have x minus 3 to a second power, but before you plug it in into the formula, always check. Always check if the middle expression which is negative 6x is the same as negative 2ab. Okay, just check to make sure that we have that perfect trinomial. Okay, so let's calculate that. Negative 2ab. It's equal negative 2 times a, our a is x, times b, our b was 3, which is negative 6x. Yes, that's correct, negative 6x, it's equal to that negative 6x. So now for sure, we have perfect trinomial. Rewrite x squared minus 6x plus 9 as a minus b to a second power. And again, minus, I'm using the formula with minus because your middle expression, it's negative. So x squared minus 6x plus 9 is the same as x minus 3 to a second power. And again, you can always check work. I will leave that for you, but to make sure, check if x minus 3 squared, which is the same as x minus 3 times x minus 3, will give you our original expression, which was x squared minus 6x plus 9. You can check that in your free time. And let's see. That's it. I think I'm not going too deeply about that perfect trinomial because we're going to talk about factoring a little more in the next section. Okay, so that was the last video of section 14.5. Like always, send me an email regarding any questions, notes, or homework, and we can set up conference and talk about and set up the office hours based on your and my schedule. Okay, thank you.